What is there to say about Doom on PlayStation? Both Doom and Final Doom come packing a huge number of changes that make them stand apart from all the other versions released around this time. Entirely new soundtracks, coloured sectors, new in-game sounds, and exclusive levels. The pair were developed by Williams and released in 1995 and 1996, 1997 if you're in Japan, and Doom managed to make it onto Sony's Platinum range, indicating that it sold over 500,000 units. Really not bad for a console version of Doom. But I already made a video talking about all these great features of PlayStation 1 Doom, and you're not here for that. What you're here for is the quirks of PlayStation 1 Doom. Even if you've played this version over and over, there are still many things that you may have missed or not cared to think about as you were playing. In this video, I'll be taking a look at some of the bigger quirks of PlayStation 1 Doom. If you want to throw quirks that I don't mention here into the mix, let me know in the comments. And how many of these did you know about?
You can use the Super Shotgun in Doom 1.
The Super Shotgun is a great weapon, but it was only introduced in Doom 2. The Super Shotgun does make a fleeting mention in the Doom Bible, indicating that it should have been in Doom 1, but there was no official way that you could bring the Super Shotgun with you on your Ultimate Doom adventures. That is until the release of PlayStation 1 Doom, where, because of how the game is put together, the shotgun can actually be accessed. Legitimately, you can only pick up the Super Shotgun in the Secret Marshes level, right before the final level of Doom 1, but if you're willing to cheat, you can hand yourself one mighty advantage in your Ultimate Doom adventure and use the Super Shotgun through the whole of Doom 1 on PS1. Amazing? Probably not, but seeing the Super Shotgun in Doom 1 levels is really curious.
Different Super Shotgun sprites.
Speaking of the Super Shotgun, the gun actually has two different sprites in both of its PS1 appearances. In Doom 1 and Doom 2 on PS1, you get a slightly pixelated but very recognisable Super Shotgun straight out of Doom 2 on PC. Fire up Final Doom on PS1 and you'll get a redrawn sprite that actually makes it look sleeker and slightly cleaner. This doesn't impact gameplay at all, but it is an interesting little curiosity between the two PS1 games, given that they were developed by the same studio. I will add as a side note to this section that when doing research for this video, I did see reference to a different sprite being used in the Japanese version of Final Doom on PS1. If I do a follow up to this video, I will mention it there. However, right now, I just wanted to make a mention of it so people didn't bring it up in the comments.
The Spider Mastermind doesn't appear in PS1 Final Doom.
It's a well-noted secret that the development of Final Doom on PS1 was something of a rush job. There wasn't much care taken when porting this game across to PS1, and there were a lot of issues that came about because of that. One of the more curious outcomes from this is that the Spider Mastermind does not make an appearance in any of the Final Doom levels. This is somewhat interesting because the Spider Mastermind is the final boss of the original Doom, and featured prominently in the PS1 Doom 2's final levels, in place of the Icon of Sin. The reason for this isn't quite as sinister as you may imagine. From a technical standpoint, a lot of Final Doom's levels are just larger than what you'd find in the original PS1 Doom. And because the levels are unedited, it means that a lot of them simply take up a lot of space in the memory of PS1. You can see this in the way that Final Doom handles enemies in its levels. Quite a few enemies have been changed from their original PC placements or taken out completely in some levels. This just means that the Spider Mastermind didn't find a place in any of these, even though it is in the game files and does actually make an appearance in the enemy crawl at the end of the game.
There are two exclusive enemies to this version of Doom.
PS1 Doom is noteworthy for not including the Archvile or Icon of Sin in any capacity. A real shame, but it does make up for this by introducing two exclusive enemy types. That's right, two. Those who've played Doom on PS1 will likely have encountered the Nightmare Spectre. This is a more tanky version of the normal Spectre, with a more distinct hue to it. It's a fun enemy and can present a real challenge in tight situations, and it takes quite a few more shots to get rid of it. But it's not the only exclusive monster in PS1 Doom, and I'm fairly certain that 99% of people who've played PS1 Doom don't even know what the second enemy actually is. It's only used once in any of these PS1 Doom games, and is positioned in such a way that most people wouldn't even notice that it's a Spectre. But it is, and it's the only time that this version of the Cacodemon has turned up in any Doom game. Why does it turn up here? Why is it so hard to tell that it's a Spectre? Who knows, but it's a unique oddity in the Doom series because we don't get another version of this Cacodemon anywhere else. It's an absolute shame that most players probably won't even notice that it's there.
Club Doom is the only official map where the music changes midway through.
We're all used to how music works in Doom. Each level comes with its own bombastic soundtracks that helps to keep the momentum going. Through the PC and most of the console ports, this music remains as one track per each level, or if you're playing on the Jaguar version, none at all. But in PS1 Doom, there's actually a super secret level that breaks this trend. When you enter Club Doom, you'll be met with an atmospheric, dark and tense soundtrack that guides you through the club doors, but as you start making your way up the steps, things change very quickly. This is a feat that hasn't been repeated in any official Doom port since. It adds chaos to the Club Doom level and is a fun little novelty that will catch out even the most veteran of Doom players. It's also very silly, let's be honest.
There are 89 levels across both Doom and Final Doom on PS1.
When it comes to sheer quantity of Doom levels, the PlayStation is really pushing for the crown. Across both releases of Doom on PS1, there are 89 levels for gamers to get their teeth into. There are 28 Ultimate Doom levels, 23 Doom 2 levels, 13 Master levels, 10 TNT Evolution levels, and 6 Plutonia levels. There's also the several exclusive PS1 levels that make their way into this collection. That being said, not all the levels make it from any one game, but the fact that all these games are represented means PS1 gamers were given the greatest choice of levels on console. Well, at least until the arrival of the modern console ports with all those add-ons. Bizarrely, the back of the Final Doom case boasts 30 plus levels when there were just 30 in the final roster, but that's just a small oversight.
You can play multiplayer if you have link cables.
An interesting side note is that you can play both Doom and Final Doom on PS1 in multiplayer. It's just a real pain to set it up. To make this happen, you need to link two PS1 consoles together using a link cable, as well as having both players own their own copy of the game. Once you've achieved this, you and a friend can experience the whole of Doom on PlayStation 1 together, either in cooperative or deathmatch. Quite why they didn't have it split screen on one console, I'll never understand, given that the PlayStation 1 has two controller ports, but at the end of the day, it's a nice feature for those who have two consoles. I personally do not, but this footage from Eric St. Cyr, who showcases the feature very nicely, is over on their YouTube channel, and I highly recommend watching it if you're curious how this works.
Doom 2 monsters turn up in Doom 1.
There are a lot of changes made to PS1 Doom, from music to graphics, but perhaps the most curious decision was to add Doom 2 monsters into Doom 1 levels. When playing on the higher difficulties, you'll bump into enemies who, in any other version, simply aren't there. For example, in Hangar, you'll encounter both a chain gunner and Pain Elemental if you enter on the Ultra Violence difficulty. Throughout your Ultimate Doom journey, you'll bump into Revenants, Mancubuses, and even a few Hell Knights for good measure. I've always wondered what a best of version of Ultimate Doom would look like with Doom 2 monsters thrown in. I guess this is as close as we'll ever get, because no other version has even tried to do this in the years since. And that's really it for the quirks of PlayStation 1 Doom. So far, there are just so many that I haven't been able to cover in this video, and I feel that I'm going to end up doing a sequel to this one, just because there are so many that I've left on the table, and ones that I probably don't even know about myself. If there's any that you know of that I haven't covered in this video, let me know in the comments. Let me know your experiences with PlayStation 1 Doom, whether it be the original or Final Doom, and thank you so much for watching.